Welcome to the Annegirls Podcast. We are so fucking close to being done with the witching hour.
Thank God.
We're doing chapter 41 through 45 today. We have one more episode after this, and then we're on to Lasher.
Man, I don't know. I don't know what could possibly happen between now and the end of the book. I'm literally petrified. I've been waiting for Lasher action, and now that it's like here, I'm like, oh my God. What?
I'm a little embarrassed rereading this, especially like going back and like the ghost lasher is very different from corporeal lasher. And I was thinking about this today when I was like editing the Mayfair Witches AMC episode that we did for Ghost in the Magazine, because Lasher, when he is born into the world, he loses like all of his ghost memory and like all of his time that he was courting the witches. He just kind of has like, it's almost like it was a dream to him. He describes it, and he becomes like this super indifferent fuck machine that is just hell-bent on propagating Taltos into the world. And it is very much like the destructive parts of nature and like just the indifference of the universe to me, and it is very unattractive. The lasher that is like stealing flowers and like telling somebody that they're beautiful, that's the lasher that I want to read stories about. I don't want to read stories about this guy who's like intellectually checkmating someone into fucking him. I don't.
So I'm not there. I'm not there. Are you telling me all of this because you don't want me to judge you?
Yes, I don't. I judge myself
know
pretty harshly. Okay?
I know you so well. I'm like, but I went into this. Now you're telling me this, and all I can think about is Aaron was right. And I hope Rowan really fucking regrets being a dirtbag. I
Yeah.
really hope she does. Does she?
No, it's Rowan. He has no, it's like, and Rowan, okay, we also, you're gonna be so mad at me. Or no, this is Lasher. I'm
No!
sorry. I'm sorry. It got me. It
No!
grabbed me. I will go back and reread it. But
I'm
it
on the
grabbed
boat
me.
by myself. I'm on the sinking ship alone. Nate Dogg abandoned us forever ago. Now here you are. I don't even have a paddle, Lindsay. I don't even have a paddle.
It's so easy to get caught up in this because it's so fucked up. It's so, oh, it's so bad. It is like, but you find out in that where I'm at. I'm in chapter 6 of Lasher, and I'm sorry, I apologize. But Rowan and Michael, the incest has done something to them.
I don't want to know what happens in Lasher. I'm not there yet. You're gonna have to wait. Yep, you're gonna have to wait to talk with me about it. And that's on you, boo boo. That's your fault.
I know.
You're gonna have to wait. I'm
This
not
is
doing
like, I think that we're going to see why Rowan is the way Rowan is, and Rowan's not going to change. Rowan is indifferent as well.
I'm upset. And you know why I'm upset? First of all, because you left me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, stuff your sorries in a sack, mister. I'm upset because when I was in the AT&T store, I was reading like the forward for the night shift because that's what I had in my car. And this author John McDonald was writing about Stephen King. He's writing about like the essence of writing and like if you want to write, just write. And he's like talking about story, and he says, story is caring about what happens to these characters that you have been led to care about. And I immediately start laughing in the AT&T store because I'm like, I don't give a shit about Rowan or Michael. And I'm like, so this must have been an elaborate trick to make me care about Ghost Slasher because, I do. And now I feel
Yeah.
so betrayed by Anne Rice. I feel so betrayed.
I think honestly, you want to know my take on this, and this comes from I grew up watching Jerry Springer. I
Yeah.
like the T channels like on YouTube. I don't even watch like the content creators that the T is about. I just like watching. I am a nosy dramatic bitch. And that's why I like this because I am just watching. I hate everyone. They're all fucking awful, but they're so dramatic. I am there for the drama.
Uh, there's not even enough like drama per se in here for me until like the end. I mean, like, yeah, until the end. Because the beginning, it's literally just them meeting each other and Michael almost fucking dying. And
Mhm.
then all of this
Yeah.
history. And then you speed it up at the end, and it's literally just a bunch of fucking bananas.
It
It's like
is
a paranormal soap opera.
the fucking wheels come off this motherfucker and it just keeps and then at some point you're just like, this is the stupidest shit I have ever heard in my entire life, but I can't stop reading. I can't stop. This is so fucking stupid. Every word in this sentence makes me mad because of how fucking stupid it is, but I can't stop reading.
This is what happens, okay, when you give white people endless money.
It is. This is
What happens.
exactly what happens when white people have endless money.
I'm not
Lasher.
sorry for saying it. It's true. It's true. Where would
It's
they
the
be
premise of
without?
the book.
It wouldn't have gotten this far without fucking money. It wouldn't
No.
have. It started with a white man, okay, fucking some shit up. Because Lasher said, he was just minding his fucking business. If it was the Whiteman and Suzanne that made him think, huh,
Whiteman.
okay,
Steph,
White.
I've gotta take a quick detour just because I've gotta tell you about a name that I found out because we talked about Wheatfield Mayfair, which is one of the best names I've ever heard in my entire life.
I knew
But
we.
we failed. I still feel like Apple Orchard's gonna be my firstborn son. But anyway, there is a name that I found on the internet after I was posting about all the funny names that I found recently, which I found another one and it was Striker Gooch, and I lost my shit. That is a great name. I need to come up with a name for my band that I'm gonna use, and I'm like, Striker Gooch is unfortunately a professional metal worker here that goes to Renaissance Fair, so I can't use his name, but it's a great name. Like,
Oh, he's a
props to
real
you
man.
for having an amazing name. But the name I saw online that Whiteman reminded me of is Hatman Hornfuckle.
Hatman.
Hatman!
Hatman.
And it's an actual name from a census.
I'm tired.
I think maybe my band name is gonna be Hatman.
Why is there not a Hatman Mayfair?
There
I
should be.
don't get it.
I
Hatman.
now that Anne's passed, like, they should just let people write random shit in the universe, like H.P. Lovecraft. Like, I know she had a problem with that when she was alive, but she's passed now.
I mean,
So,
well, does she have like secret? I almost said gazpacho.
Gazpacho?
Does she have
Gestapo?
secret? Does she have secret police that are gonna find us if we write fan fiction?
I think she just did that for a while. Like, she went on fan fiction websites and, like, copyright struck people. She was, like, infamous for it. But she's, like I said, she's not doing that anymore. Rip.
Respectfully, respectfully. All right, we
I
gotta
feel
start
like Hatman
doing
Mayfair.
Hatman,
Hatman.
Hatman Field Mayfair.
So, chapter 41.
Because we've been talking for so long, we haven't been talking about anything.
It's the same fucking chapter that 40 and 39 and 38 is, which is like just them in fucking marital bliss.
And
But
she's
this
pregnant.
is where she starts to kind of be like, actually, I kind of want to fuck that ghost. And that is it just turns into all of that demeaning Michael just gets
Uh-huh.
deeper. Every page.
And Lasher's not fucking around when he says that he knows Rowan. Like he
Mm-hmm.
knows, like, um, I know you want to fuck me, first of all, and once you do, nothing else is gonna feel right. Because once you have ghost dick, you really can't go back to regular. You know what I mean? And like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it seems like he can do a lot more than a corporeal man could do. It seems like he kind of like
Nothing.
you know.
I don't know. Here's my issue. I mean, I have a lot of issues with Rowan, but like, bitch rushed into marrying Michael and moving him into her house. She didn't have to do that. You could have given yourself some time. Sure, have him fix your house, or you could have hired someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stretch your legs in that bitch. You know, fuck the ghosts in freedom and not like mess up another, mess up some guy's life. Like, he would have been fine. Like, he would have been a little sad he didn't get to marry Dr. Sailor, but like, he would have gotten over it. He's not want for money, you know?
Mm-mm.
He was just traumatized by her shit. Like, he got caught up in her shit.
No pity for Michael for me though, but
No, I'm not saying that because I'm just saying, like, that's just kind of adding to her being a piece of shit person.
oh yeah.
Like, she really didn't, you guys didn't know each other at all, and you're like, well, you're gonna be my husband. Like, what is this, The Sims?
Yeah, and there's a reason why I think that they wanted to be each other's husband and wife. Uh, well, obviously they needed to bring Lasher into the war, but
Yeah.
like genetically we find out later that there's a reason why they are so irresistible to each other.
Incest pheromones.
Yes, incest. And really, okay, I didn't get this information from reading ahead. I literally just looked at a family tree because it bothered me. I knew Michael was a Mayfair, and I wanted to know from where. He's descended from Julian, and she's descended from Cortland, which is Julian's son. So there's like direct. These guys are just as incest as anyone else out there.
I
So
mean, I'm surprised everybody's not a Mayfair. Honestly. Just saying.
well, everybody can't. I mean, everybody can't be a Mayfair because they keep it in the family. But like,
This is so gross. It's
it
so
is.
bad.
It's really bad. It's terrible.
I can't. Okay. All right. Well, no, because we have to talk about Little Chris since we talked about it before we started recording. Because I'm like, what the fuck?
So I googled the term "Little Chris" because it didn't ring a bell for me, and it gives me a page of the um excessive amount of abortion talk that they go through, where apparently Little Chris is a fetus, or the name that Michael gave the fetus that his ex-girlfriend aborted, and that's what they decide to name their baby. Really?
There's a bajillion names in this world, in their family tree alone. Why on earth?
Wheat Wheatfield. Hatman.
Hatman,
Dundas.
hello?
I'm full of good names. I have a list of my favorite names.
Dundas. I'm sorry. I'm fidgety. I'm fidgeting with my iPhone box while I'm recording. I'm just I'm wildly uncomfortable because what in what fucking planet do you say, "Oh, you remember that time, the only time where you like made a baby that you wanted to keep and your ex-girlfriend said fuck no and you spiraled and you gave it a pet name? Why don't we name our baby that?" What?
I've got to say something else that made me just think of something. Based on what I know about Michael's DNA now, that baby wasn't going to be born anyway. That baby was going to be a miscarriage or a stillbirth because he is not compatible with regular humans. So he put all of that on that woman. and it wasn't even going to happen anyway. That's the reason. It's just like that's some King Henry shit. That's some King Henry shit, because he fucking chopped ladies' heads off for giving him daughters when it's the man who determines the sex of the child, okay? It's the sperm that determines the sex of the child. You're fucking killing people, bitch, you know?
Right. We can't be doing that. That is like toxic masculinity. Men are sensitive. Sorry, we can I'm just saying. There's like, I mean, there's just so much history about men being
yes. And another thing is they talk about New Orleans and Destin, Florida, and like these different places and how hot it is versus like freezing California. Now, I haven't been to like San Diego or whatever, but I've been to LA. It is a stifling, smoggy hellhole. And I say that as somebody who is from Eastern Washington, that is a burning, stifling, smoky hellhole. So, you know, I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying it is like 100 degrees there all summer. I don't understand where this is coming from. Like, is this some part of California I don't understand?
I don't know, but also I'm straight up, anything above Central Florida is not that fucking hot. I live in South Florida and it's hotter than hell, but I've lived in Central Florida for 15 years, approximately. Not that fucking hot. And Destin is at the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I get it. Like, I get the Midwest can get pretty hot. Like when I lived in Ohio, we had like some days that were like around, 98, 99 degrees and like 80 or 90% humidity. That feels a lot worse than like out here it's 110, but we only have like 10% humidity, so it's different.
Yes, and also this is in the fall.
Yeah.
So it gets very cool in Florida in the fall. It has snowed in northern Florida.
Yeah.
So that it sticks.
And it's described later on, like again in the next book, when Gifford's and Destin, she's talking about how cold it is and how it's like there's snow on the boardwalk at some point and stuff. And I see what she's trying to do, I feel like, where she's trying to make California like it's so cold that my life was just in stasis until I came to New Orleans, where everything is warm and homey and where I belong.
I see that, but it's not giving because
it's not reality though.
Had all this fucking money to do whatever the fuck they wanted to, and them being miserable is their own fucking choice.
Yes.
No, you can't fool poor people. Stop it.
No. If I had the type of money that Rowan or Michael had before she inherited, my ass, I would never have even been in California to begin with. I would be traveling all the time. I would never stand still. Okay? I would do what I could to help people out, and then the rest of the time I would just be gone. I would be doing something else, going somewhere else. I'd be following Thank You Scientists on every tour they go on.
Do not cut that out.
I will cut that out.
I expect to hear it in this episode.
I don't care. They're not going to find it.
All right, so chapter 41 sucks. Pregnant Rowan sucks.
Why do they even get married? They don't like each other. All they do is talk shit.
They like to bone and keep secrets. And that sounds like...
And you can do that in a friends with benefits situation. You could even do that on a frenemies with benefits situation. Like, have a situationship. Don't marry him. What the fuck?
Just for you saying side-eyeing Lasher for loving Michael, I didn't buy that shit neither.
No. You don't love him.
No, you don't.
I guess so. If he's Julian's grandson or great grandson, maybe he just sees a little bit of Julian in him.
Well, Michael's seeing a lot of Julian around town. There was a lot. The conversation between Rowan and Lasher was a big ol' circle.
Yes, it was. It felt never ending. It was
Yeah.
like,
I'm like, get to the ghost bone.
and it was like, just, why are we doing this? Why are you full on interrogating? Because, like, after the first couple of answers he gives her, where he's like, either he is being cagey or he literally doesn't know. Like, why
Yeah.
do you keep want to do that dance? Like, you want to fuck this ghost. I always knew she wanted to fuck that ghost. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she's wanted to fuck the ghost since the plane.
Of course. Yeah, because she was pissed off that she liked it. And she's like, well, I'm not going to be mad and I'm going to fight you this whole time. Like, you, girl, you make a lot of unnecessary choices in here. That's your ghost. Like, you inherited it.
I wouldn't want it to become corporeal. I would have never fucked Michael. I just want the ghost and the house and all the money.
Yeah.
And I could just,
Protect
like,
me. He says, I want to be your slave, bet, be, but I'm not going to give you a body.
nope.
Yeah,
You get out there and kill people that piss me off. That's what you're doing. That's your
right.
job.
I think the whole
Pluck eyebrows.
13th witch and the key in the door, I think that's really neat. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that whole concept is super cool. I hate that it's Rowan.
Mm-hmm.
I do. And also, I mean, like, it's a choice. I hated how Lasher's telling her how Aaron is a liar just because he doesn't, you know why he doesn't come out and tell you the entire plan? Because you're a fucking dummy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're a fucking idiot. And he's trying to play into your idiocy. Like, how can I make this stupid bitch make the right choice? That's why. It doesn't make him a bad man.
No.
Because he didn't tell you that. And like, you lie to Michael every day. You're married to him. So like, really, bitch?
You lie to him and you say he is literally too stupid and naive and easy to deceive. Why are you boning him? If I don't respect someone, I'm not gonna fuck them. Okay? And the thing about the ghost, you don't have to make the ghost a sandwich. You don't have to listen to the ghost cry about his childhood. You don't have to listen to any of that shit. Like, it's just a ghost. You'd be like, get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna exorcise you if you don't shut the fuck up. That's the perfect sex partner. I'm just saying.
I hate how she's telling Aaron, like, no, you don't understand how powerful he is. Like, I can't fight him. But that's not what it is. She doesn't want to. If you're already going to be shitty, just own up to your
shit. If you want to bone the ghost. Just don't bring him through. Just don't go get an abortion. Don't, like, have no part of this. Michael would deserve it. I'm sorry. He would deserve it.
I'm really scared. I'm just really scared.
Yeah, the description that's about to hit you in a few pages is going to, I fully expect you to text me being like, fuck this shit, I hate you.
You're right, I should order that pizza. I need comfort pizza.
You need comfort pizza, 100%. You deserve comfort pizza if you're gonna keep reading here.
I am. I'm gonna be gross. I really, really enjoyed the ghost boning. I think it's really interesting because, like, there's only so much you can do between, you know, a human lady and a human man, you know, writing a book about boning. But, like, you know, I'm like, this is the reason why, monster stuff is a thing because I haven't read any monster stuff. I want to put that out there because I feel like I mentioned it, like, a bunch of times during this podcast. But I get it. You have some?
I have some Kelly Armstrong novels that are like people fucking in werewolf form. I'm so immature. I will just sit there and fucking laugh, like snort laugh the whole time I'm reading something like that. And I did that for this too. This was funny to me. It was so corny. I don't know. Lasher lost his luster as soon as he went from like retrieving flowers and
the first time you read this, though, you weren't laughing.
Probably not. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember the ghost sex from the first time. There are a lot of things that I just didn't, like, I didn't remember all the incest. I don't know how. Like, how do you miss the incest? I don't know how.
Every other fucking word is incest. Every other sentence is incest. All those files, it's filled with incest and stolen voodoo. Like, it's awful. It's so bad. It's so you'll never forget now.
Honestly, I think my first read through, I hated Michael so much. I just like there's just something about Michael that gathered all my ire and I had no attention for anything else. And by chapter 2 of this book, you will see exactly why Michael is in the trash can. Michael is a dumpster.
Okay, I know, and I know from some things that you have told me, but if we're just looking at, like, I haven't read anything. If we're just looking at, what's happening now, I think it's interesting that you had that reaction to him, because I don't even hate Michael yet. I just don't give a shit about him. And he gets less, like, in the beginning I was angry because I'm like, why am I reading about this man? I don't think he's actually attractive. I feel like he's probably not. And I could blame my imagination for that. But it got less, even, I guess, because my distaste for Rowan grew.
Yeah.
And there were all those cute scenes with Aunt Viv, and I'm just like, he's just a dopey dude who got really fucking lucky. I mean, yeah, he almost died, but like, Dr. Sailor to the rescue and all this money and his dreams coming true. I just don't care about that. But then, because I cannot imagine, I cannot put myself in the headspace to know why he would do the thing he does. So that's where I am.
Oh, they try to. Okay. I can't wait. I can't wait till we get there because I forgot how infuriated it makes me. Like,
okay.
I almost hate Anne Rice. I want to summon her spirit and get in a fist fight right now for having to read those.
Summon her because I feel like she has gained so many power levels.
I'm sure, but I'm foolish. Okay, I'm gonna be foolish.
Not me. I'm in the blackening saying nope.
Well, I'm a white lady, so I
100% was that kid who said, "Oh, at the sleepover, oh, you're getting out the Ouija board? I will fucking walk home. I will walk home."
I wasn't.
Not I. The Midwest ghost ain't fucking around. I'm not doing it. No.
I'm like I'm just like, I'm a stereotypical white woman. I am not afraid of ghosts and I'm not afraid of any animal, which is bad.
That's very bad. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, okay. So I'm just like skimming your notes. When the Lasher ghost hands were parting the backside, I thought that was a little weird because who scooches up in there and spreads your butt cheeks while you're laying on your back? That's a little weird. I feel like I would 100% be taken out and say, "What are you doing down there?"
Stroking the nether mouth.
No, on all the little mouths, like sucking her titties. I just was ignoring that stuff, like swiping it away, like that's weird. All right.
How can you take this? And then, okay, I'm gonna say this. This is a direct quote from the book. This is what Rowan is thinking. And the cock slammed into her. Yes, harder. Make it rape.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. She's had this thing the entire book with Michael, probably with her, firefighters and her cops. They probably play that game.
But she was so upset at Lasher initially. She made a big scene about it because she felt violated. And then she tells him to rape her.
Because it's not real. She was trying to convince herself that she didn't like it. That's where the whole issue comes in.
The lying bitch.
Of course she is. She is like the queen of the lies. It's ridiculous. Like, Michael's off in fucking California knowing something's wrong, and she's over there getting ghost banged, not answering the damn phone. Ryan to the rescue. Hello. Get me on a private flight.
I also just never want to read anybody's cock or pussy being called a sex again. Like, I just never want to read it.
I don't care about that.
The most boomer shit I've ever read, and it is not hot. It's not hot. I'm angry.
It is what it is. She doesn't have that book that you got me.
That's a good book. I will.
Probably ran out of.
Speaking of things, I will sit and like raucously laugh to. Sometimes I just open up the penis page in there and just laugh my ass off.
I'm overdue for opening up the penis page.
We need to
I
do
feel
that when you're up here camping. We'll just go through that
Yes.
page and laugh.
It makes me want to go through this book and cross out anything that's slightly inappropriate and rewrite a word for it, and then donate this book. I looked
Yeah.
at this when I got it. It was brand new, but I've written things in this book, and I never do that. So God bless the person who gets this book next, because I'm not keeping it. I don't. Yeah, and I don't. The rest of the chapters are like nothing.
Well, this one is the one where she gets in the fight with Aaron, which I think we kind of covered already. She was just being a bitch.
She was being a super bitch, and she's like, he's gonna fucking kill you. My ghost boyfriend's gonna kick your ass.
Yeah.
That's what she's doing. And like, Aaron loves you. Like, what the hell? I thought they were like family. He walked you, he gave you away at your wedding. Hello?
Yeah. And this is another useless fucking conversation to read that just goes on way too long because they say the same thing again and again and again, just like her conversation with Lasher. I'm just like, for the love of God, somebody edit this, please. I don't need to read all this. I don't.
They could have just mashed these together. They could have mashed a lot.
They could have just cut some of the lines out. You don't need to say the same thing 50,000 times. And I mean, all due respect, like I'm upset at the way that things are written in this book to an extent, but I still love Anne Rice as a writer.
Yes. I feel like I have to remind myself that a lot while I'm reading this book. Because I'm like, it's very, for the most, I mean, like, the story is weaved crazy. You know, she put some crazy fucking shit in this book, and I always aspire to be that because I'm like, wow, that's ballsy. You don't gotta make us suffer. You don't. That's unnecessary.
And then the next chapter is the most boring Michael chapter I think that I've read. Which is just huh?
He almost gets run over, or was that?
Yeah, he's in California and he's seeing Julian's ghost and getting fucking corny ass fucking Christmas decor, and he takes that back to the house, and that's what 45 is like, look at this cool tree and all of these Victorian ornaments that I've collected, like a fucking old lady. Like, isn't this hot?
No, and he started that as a college guy. I find that so hard to believe that as a college man who's quote unquote hot, you know, who's out there, you know, living his best life, you start collecting Victorian Christmas ornaments. I think that's bizarre. But Anne thinks it's hot.
The Christmas shit I inherited because my mom gets rid of all of her shit like every year. She'll just like get rid of everything. So I have like all the stuff from like when I was growing up that my mom was gonna throw out because she's fucking psychotic about that. I don't know. She'll just like buy all new shit. I don't know how she does it, but
each their own.
I'm not going to collect that shit. That's annoying. I have like 2 boxes of shit. That's too much.
My first Christmas tree as an adult was a mini Star Wars Christmas tree that I got from Toys R Us because I worked there, and it had Star Wars bulbs, and I kept that for like 3 years. So
all of my stuff, like literally every time my mom gets a new Christmas tree, I have her old one, and then I have all of the stuff from my childhood, and that's what, like, I have a California raisin and everything.
I love those little guys. Here Michael is. I don't know. And it's setting the tone for this like massive fucking glitter dusted Christmas where they're married and they're pregnant, but meanwhile there's a sexy ghost lurking around trying to eat its way into their baby. It's horrifying.
Yeah. The next few chapters, we're gonna get there.
Yay.
It's wild. It's wild and it's also boring at the same time because we're gonna keep doing this fucking dance.
All right. I just don't know. Why is that necessary? Just give me the danger.
That's what I'm saying. I am so fucking tired of boring shit. Like, just cut out all the boring shit. Cut out the circular conversations. Cut out Michael with his stupid Christmas ornaments. And let's just get to the stuff that I'm interested in. I was actually like, I feel like as a writer, I am prone to do the same thing sometimes because I'm trying to like create a pace. And it's just like, as a reader, that's so fucking irritating. It's so irritating. I don't want to read your garbage filler chapter, bitch. I don't want to read it. I'm saying that to myself too. I don't want to write it. I don't want to read it. I'm throwing it out. Thank you for listening to the Annegirls Podcast. You can find us on the internet at annegirls.ghostinthemagazine.site.